Imagine waking up tomorrow, and the headlines say, Iran and the United States are at war. But what if that war didn't just start overnight? What if it was set in motion long before the first missile was launched? Behind every escalation, every tension, there are systems of power quietly shaping outcomes, influencing decisions, controlling the direction of global events. So the real question isn't just what happens next, it's who or what has been steering this all along. Imagine waking up tomorrow, and the world's most volatile geopolitical situation has just exploded. The headlines are everywhere, on your phone, your TV, social media. Iran and the United States are at war right now in 2026. What does that actually mean for you, for your family, for your future? Because this isn't just another headline you scroll past. This is the kind of event that reshapes economies, shifts power globally, and changes everyday life overnight. And the most unsettling part? The way it unfolds will shock you. Look, nobody wants this. No country, no citizen, no economy benefits from a war at this scale. But as tensions continue to simmer beneath the surface, understanding the how and the why behind a potential conflict becomes critical. This isn't about politics. It's not about choosing sides. It's about understanding reality before it happens. Today, we're cutting through the noise. We're breaking down the most likely flashpoints, the immediate global impacts, and, most importantly, what you can actually do to prepare. Because the final piece, the economic shockwaves, most people aren't even thinking about it. So how do we even get here? How do two powerful nations move from tension to direct conflict? It's never one event, never one decision. It's a buildup, a slow burn. Think of it like a tinderbox, packed over decades. From the 1979 revolution, the hostage crisis, to ongoing nuclear program tensions. Then layer on proxy conflicts in Yemen, Syria, Iraq. Add sanctions, drone strikes, and constant naval standoffs in the Persian Gulf. What you get is a system under pressure, constant pressure, just waiting for a spark. Now the real question is, what lights the match? It could be a miscalculated strike on a key ally, Israel, Saudi Arabia. It could be an escalation in the Strait of Hormuz, disrupting global oil flow in hours. Or something even smaller, a naval encounter, a warning shot, misunderstood. This is where the fog of war comes in. A delayed response, a wrong assumption, a signal misread, and suddenly decisions are being made in minutes instead of days. And once that line is crossed, pulling back becomes harder than pushing forward. Here's the part most people don't realize. Neither side may actually want a full-scale war, but internal political pressure, military expectations, and national pride can push leaders into positions where backing down looks impossible. And once momentum builds, it feeds itself. Each action demands a response. Each response escalates the situation further. It becomes a dangerous game of chicken, where hesitation looks like weakness and aggression risks catastrophe. If the unthinkable happens, the first 24 to 48 hours are everything. Forget what you see in movies. This won't begin with troops marching into cities. Instead, it starts silently. Cyber warfare, drone strikes, precision missile attacks. Targets? Military bases, command centers, communication systems, energy infrastructure. Iran could strike regional bases and naval assets, while the United States responds with overwhelming precision, aiming to disable key systems quickly. It's fast, it's calculated, and it's incredibly dangerous. But here's where everything becomes unpredictable. Miscalculation. A missile lands where it shouldn't. Civilians are hit. or a cyber attack spreads beyond its intended target. These aren't rare possibilities, they are highly likely risks in modern warfare. And once that happens, the conflict doesn't stay contained. Other nations react, markets react, people react. And in a matter of hours, what started as a regional conflict becomes a global crisis. This is where it hits everyone. Not just governments, not just militaries, everyone. Why? One word: oil. The Strait of Hormuz controls a massive portion of the world's oil supply. If it's disrupted, even briefly, prices don't just rise, they explode. We're talking extreme inflation, skyrocketing fuel costs, and a ripple effect across every industry. Food becomes more expensive, transportation slows, supply chains begin to break, and suddenly, everyday life becomes significantly harder. Everywhere. Beyond strategy, beyond economics, there's the human cost. Millions of civilians caught in the middle of a conflict they didn't choose. Cities under pressure, hospitals overwhelmed, access to food, water, and medicine disrupted. And then comes displacement. Families forced to leave everything behind, creating a massive refugee crisis. But it doesn't stop there. The psychological impact spreads globally. Fear, uncertainty, anxiety, becoming part of daily life, even for those far from the battlefield. And finally, the most terrifying question: how does it escalate? Because it can. Regional allies could be pulled in, turning a conflict into a wider war. Proxy groups could open multiple fronts across different countries. Cyber warfare could target entire national infrastructures, power grids, financial systems, communications. And in the worst-case scenario, the unthinkable becomes possible: nuclear escalation. Even if the risk is small, it's not zero. And once a conflict reaches that level, it takes on a life of its own. Control is lost, and the consequences become irreversible.